Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Market Mates episode. Got to get used to saying that now. Good to see you all. GM on this lovely Friday morning here in Australia. Weather looks pretty nice out there. I was like, goodness, this is a nice beach day. This is a day that you want to be not working and want to be actually at the beach. But anyways, I'm here streaming with you, Craig, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I love this market. I love being live streaming, and hopefully we can help educate some people out there who are watching our show. How are you, mate? How's things this morning?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Greeny. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Yeah, a happy Friday, everyone. Sun shining, looks good out there. Happy to be here today. We can chat the market. Bit slower today, obviously, with news. But price action was, I suppose, pretty exciting on that little dippy dip we had. We can chat about that in a minute. But how are you, Greeny? How are you feeling?
Good, mate. Good. Look, the cricket ended yesterday. The Aussies won the Ashes 4-1. So that's definitely a good thing, because now I'm not going to be distracted every day because I want to watch cricket, and that's a classic summer. It's funny how it works like that. Like at the start of the summer, I'm so like, yes, it's on. And then yesterday I was like, oh, look, I'm a bit over it. I'm kind of keen to get stuck into work and not have this distraction to watch every day. So it looks like we're live in the Canary Islands.
I just saw that.
Hectic, bro. Hectic. GM to everyone. Good to see the chat. Absolutely rocking. GM to everyone. Brad in the chat. GM to, Angelos, Rocky, Yana, Ponky, Mike, Undu, everyone in the chat. Good to see. Andrew,
I had Razuka DM me yesterday and say good day.
No way. Hopefully he's doing all right. He obviously went, he went all in on abstract, and I'm like, I don't know about that strategy. And then he had to leave GTG, and I was like, oh, look, mate, I totally understand. Always got a soft spot for him, so I'm more than happy to cut him a deal. But like, yeah, it's a shame because I was like, abstract obviously quietening down, and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a good decision. Like, always spread your fingers. It's the same as Eli. Like, spread your fingers around. And now Eli's starting to do that, right? He obviously has content, but trading outside of that, right? So
you got to spread your risk, don't you? And that's the thing with this industry. Is companies can fall over very quickly. Not that abstract's falling over, but they can go through lulls. They can go through a lull for a year, and then if you're all in on one thing and that happens, you're a bit snookered. So, yeah, like you and I have said, best to diversify your portfolio. You know, not financial advice, but heavy Bitcoin, and then dabble in things. But I wouldn't go all in, I don't think, ever, except for Bitcoin maybe. But even then, I still dabble. I mean, I'm in enough NFTs for everyone to know. So, yeah.
Very, very valid.
Good to hear from him. Sup, Razuka, if you're listening. Hello, I hope you're all good.
Yeah, likewise. All right, well, before we dive in, obviously where Craig and I like to buy a Bitcoin is on OKX, guys. You can sign up down below. You get a free $50 or $75, I think it is, once you do $1,000 of volume. So you can check that out down below. It's our trusted exchange. We've been partnered now with them for 3 or 4 months. And yeah, hopefully we'll bring you some more in IRL shows maybe this year. We do need to reach out to them and have a chat about what their plan is for 2026. And then obviously shout out to Yeet, guys. We will be giving a Cal. Let me just check. I'm about to log in and just check how much volume have we done, guys. Let's have a look. We've done only $200 of volume since yesterday, Craig. You know what? We can give away $250 a week or $1,000 a month, or we don't have to. Like, that's the thing, man. I don't know, Craig. We might not be giving away $200 today. There's only $8,600 of volume, guys. This needs to be 10K minimum. Otherwise, we don't give away 200 today. It'll be a smaller giveaway today. So massive shout out to Yeet as well for partnering with us. If you are part of our Yeet community, do consider doing some volume so you can increase your chances to win $200. All right, so we'll start off with some news. It is a little bit more of a slow news day today. Basically, the big news overnight was, let me just find the right tweet. Here it is. Zcash dumped about 30%. Now, it obviously got taken over by, I don't know if it's community or I don't know if it's just other people. Mert jumped on. Mert jumped on with FOMO out, which we'll play some clips on. But basically, yeah, we're all in on Zcash, which is pretty crazy. Here you go, creators of Zcash. So I don't know. It's weird because basically overnight, there's a lot of FUD that the team kind of rugged the project, which is really interesting. As you can see here, Zcash just lost its core dev team. The entire electronic coin company, ECC team behind Zcash resigned all at once. Here's the full story down below. ECC is the original developer behind Zcash privacy tech. Yesterday, Josh, that guy that we just showed you, and the entire staff team walked out after a deep governance dispute.
Oh no.
Which is why XMR has actually consequently pumped, right? It's a competitor. So what happens? ECC developers resigned after a governance clash. CEO calls it a constructive discharge. Conflict with the bootstrapped board. Developers are forming a new company. There you go. Zcash protocol continues, but the roadmap is now unclear. Just remember who was shilling this shit on the timeline. Board members name in the dispute. I don't know any of these people, but yeah, basically says the board changed employment terms so drastically the team could no longer work with integrity. I mean, fair enough. I think that's pretty valid. I feel like that would be valid in any work scenario space. Instead of compromising their mission, the entire team chose to walk. Now that's pretty hectic. They're now launching a new company to continue building unstoppable private money. That could be a cook. That could be some alpha right there.
Yeah.
Same builders, same mission. Critical clarification from the guy before that we had, Swihart. We'll call him Swihart. The Zcash protocol itself is not affected. It's open source and keeps running. This is a governance and leadership crisis, not a protocol one. The market immediately repriced the risk, and it dumped to, I mean, this was written at the time as 14%, but it dumped all the way to 30%. So if we have a look at the chart, it dumped all the way back to a golden pocket. Like, I mean, if you're longing, that was kind of not a bad long area. And shout out to some G2G members like Sunday who caught the long on Zcash yesterday. But yeah, it dumped about basically from yesterday, it dumped, what's this? Yeah, 28% in the space of a couple hours, actually. So that was pretty crazy to read overnight. But that's your main news story. Why this matters for privacy, why this matters for Zcash. It's a privacy first chain. It values depends heavily on the core developers. So now that they don't have any core developers, what's going to happen? Multiple leadership exists over recent years. Government's friction now fully public. Investor confidence takes a hit. This moment is bigger. Protocols can survive, etc., etc. What happens next? Who knows? We'll wait and see. Code can be copied. Communities can migrate, but broken governments leave scars. I think that's a key point for a lot of crypto communities and companies out there. But yeah, big wrap here. Now, here's some videos, Craig, that talk directly from Mert. I don't know what Mert is. He like just a holder? Is he a dev on like separately? Is he now part of it? Like, it's interesting. Like, he obviously is part of Helios, which is on Solana, but he's been very much a Solana and Zcash bull for a while. But here's a clip. We'll play it right now for you guys. Shout out to Levi, who is also our clipper. He's been partnering with us this last week as well. All right, here's a clip.
Nothing about Zcash has changed except for the fact that now the people who are doing the ship and who are market driven, right, who wear, Zashi wallet, the reason people use it is because it actually works and it solves their problem. And like that didn't exist for many years in the existing like corporate structures, right? So this is a new thing. And so now you'll just see more of that. You'll see more shipping, better bridging, better wallets, better security, better core dev. I mean, the reason I'm bullish is because now there's less barriers for the shippers to actually build things and improve things.
Because it's public. Yeah, potentially. Here's another clip. Is he bullish because he's an insider and he got information that it was going to get pumped early? Like, no, yes, no. I don't know. That's controversial take.
Absolutely fake news. I mean, like, look, it's one of those things where like you can take something that is technically true because they resigned from the foundation entity, but then they're all under the new entity. So like they just literally changed the name and the legal doc, but nobody, like the net number of people working on the same problems has remained unchanged.
What do you take, Craig? That doesn't really make sense.
Well, I thought the whole team walked out to form a new company. Didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So it's not like they just renamed, did they?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit. I'm a bit confused, but it sounds like the core dev team and the builders walked away and are forming a new company to continue another mission. But then I'm just confused what he's saying there, because it sounds like he's just saying they rebranded and renamed and the same guys are going to be working on the project. But I'm confused.
Same. And like, if this guy's the one that stepped away, like, and he created it, Josh, Swihart, like if he scaled, like, yeah, startups can scale, but nonprofits can't. That's why we created a new Zcash startup, cashz.org. Okay. And then Chill Pill, what's the CA? It's so fair. I mean, this will arguably cook, right? Like, because if it's the same team, it kind of defeats the purpose. But as always, like teams and companies, they need to innovate, they need to change. Maybe like sometimes, like you can scale, like a lot of people can scale something from 0 to 1 million, but then they struggle from 1 million to 10 million. A lot of people can scale a brand from 0 followers to 10K followers, but then struggle from 10K to 50K. Maybe this is what it needs. I don't know. Again, I haven't really spent much time in the privacy world, Craig. Have you at all looked into Monero or because I actually watched some YouTube videos yesterday about the dark web and stuff, and Monero and Bitcoin were the two assets that a lot of people would previously transact on over that side of the web. What are your thoughts around all this?
I haven't got into privacy coins a lot, not a heck of a lot. Obviously, I've kept an eye on them as people were speaking about them. I know Tyler Durden, he was sort of talking about Zcash when it was much lower, and that would have been a good cook. But I personally haven't really found the need for it yet. So I suppose I guess that's what it doesn't always come down to. But if there's a use case for me, I tend to dive a lot deeper. It's not always the case, but I'm not very well versed on privacy coins. I haven't had a big need for it. I get its place though. I understand its place. As for in regards to this announcement by Zcash, I mean the market didn't really like the announcement, did it? As much as they try and do a bit of PR spin to try and steady the ship here.
Yeah.
I mean, your core dev team leaving can't be good. Like, I just don't. Yeah, I can't imagine that's a positive thing. Maybe long term, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, for short term price action, the market didn't like it. So yeah, there's what you say and what the market decides that it likes.
Yeah,
2 to 3 different things.
But Levi does say they were a non-profit organization. Now they are for profit, and they are working on the same coin, but market didn't like the way they did it. Yeah, interesting.
I guess optics count for a lot.
Well, I mean, we spoke about yesterday about optics, Craig, around Kane and Infinex. So yeah, I mean, optics are so important for a brand, for a community, for an NFT collection, for a token, for a company, for a project. Optics is everything for a news company. Like, yeah, everything.
Imagine being them now, having to steady the ship.
Zcash or
Zcash. It would be a bit of a PR nightmare for the next few weeks.
Tough one. I mean, price traded exactly into the golden pocket yesterday. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you just short the news," and I was like, "I don't think so." Like personally, I think there's this daily both like imbalance. You've got 2 FVGs here, so that's fair value gap, which is basically where price has an imbalance. Now, that's huge, and I would say this is an area where I become very interested if we get up here to short it back down to here. But again, it depends on what majors do. Bitcoin starts pushing to 98K, then this probably does head back up towards these sort of higher levels up here before we obviously see it. But yeah, I mean, this is just the first sign that, again, here's the structure we talked about all week, Craig. This is a bear flag playing out. It just happened more aggressively because news pushed it. And that's a lot of the time. Like a lot of these charts are the same structure, right? Where you have a big bull run up. We now start to change the trend, change a character and price. And what you notice here is now where the trend is your friend and the trend is down, it's a bearish trend, lower highs, lower lows. Okay. And from there, you start to have this flag. And a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, we're going to new all-time highs. No, buddy. This is just continuation of the trend. This is just a reaccumulation for shorts, for bears to grab all of this liquidity, people who are longing, people who are looking to short, all these sorts of things. And sure enough, it's a bear flag. Structure price continues down until we find a rounding bottom. And I think a lot of altcoins, a lot of meme coins, majors as well, ETH, BTC, Solana are literally putting this out right now. It's just maybe Zcash had news that made it drop quickly. And that's the thing about price, guys, is news just like fast tracks what price is already going to be doing. And I think that's a big lesson for a lot of people out there.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like structurally Zcash was always going to head lower.
Yeah.
And like you just said, this news has just accelerated the move. It still probably ended up more or less where it was going to. It just got fast tracked. Probably not a bad thing, man. Rip the band-aid, get the price action down into the golden pocket, and probably not a bad buy zone down there. So
no, you could have long this, and shout out to Sunday who did long this. I was looking, I was like, I would rather short from up here than attempt a long here. But yeah, it is what it is. So Outside that, there's not much other news today other than CPI comes out next the 13th of Jan. So that's 5 days away, or 4 days away, sorry. So that's early next week. Probably something to be aware of. Again, volatility usually spikes around that 13th of January. Are we going to push up higher across the board first, and then we see a bit of a correction? Or are we going to dump first into the 13th of January, and then we see a pump higher after that? These are all the questions that we'll have to be asking. So from a high time frame sense, I still very much think, I mean, we did reject here, so this is a failed PO3, but basically high time frame sense, Craig, like we spoke about this yesterday, but we are still maintaining some form of a trend here on high time frames, even though I would argue that this is a low structure break here where you do have a change of structure and trend. That's a trend here, and we now have a lower low compared to this low over here. It's just on a really high time frame. We are still maintaining this trend. But as I just showed you on Zcash, what looks very similar here, Craig, it is literally that structure of price. Okay, you have a bull trend. Okay, you then start to break this trend. You then correct. Okay, you have a corrective wave. You have a bear flag forming, however long it takes, however high it pumps, whatever it does. Okay, could be a little bit more aggressive. Could go all the way up like this. Okay, it could be like this, and bang, 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 and bang. And then that's exactly how a bear market starts. And you can go back and have a look at it here. Last cycle, okay? Bear correction, complacency bounce, correction of that wave until you start to form a bottom, until you really start to form a rounding bottom. So is the rounding bottom going to be down here? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, what do you think about Bitcoin right now? I mean, I saw you did sell some Bitcoin the other day after we had that conversation around like, why are you waiting for a 2% move like on a large bag? Like, sure, it might be say 10 grand if depending on your portfolio size, but why are you waiting for that when in realistic circumstances you're already up 3x from say your average buy, or maybe a 2x from your average buy, maybe even up 20% from your 74K buy, whatever it is. Like a lot of people, that's why a lot of people struggle in cryptos, because they worry, or they don't worry, they get greedy, Craig. They go just that little bit more. Just that little bit more. This one's different. This time is different. Not only this one is different, but this time is different. Just a little bit more. And honestly, that's most of the time you should be literally clicking exit, walking away, and just forgetting about it, and then concentrating on the next trade that you have.
Yeah, spot on, Greeny. Yeah, look, you know, one of the worries we had, or I had on Monday, or that we spoke through, if you guys didn't catch it, Sunday stream, probably the first 30 minutes, we ran through the probability of Bitcoin breaking down from 94. And sure enough, it broke down pretty hard from 94, back down to about, what was it, 88? Something around there?
Yeah.
89.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, that moment there when I saw that big drop, I was pretty thankful I took a little bit off the board, which is the reason for selling. Obviously, it just takes a bit of the pressure off you and a bit of the stress. And like you said, that sort of bearish flag it's starting to print now is apparent on a lot of things. So it kind of adds to the fact that I think the market wants lower, doesn't it? It's giving us, the market is giving us a lot of signs it wants to break down. So when you see so many structures on memes looking like that, on altcoins looking like that, on specifically on Bitcoin looking like that, because that's the one that's going to lead the market, as we've spoken about. I mean, the positive sign of that breakdown is we got a pretty nice rejection off the bottom. We bounced straight back up above 91. So that's what I was looking for, that key level for me, 91. We got back above there. So it's sort of, when I saw the dip, I was like, shucks, man, if this comes up and then closes underneath, this could get pretty hairy. Luckily, we rejected off the bottom, bounced nicely, and we're back above that sort of danger zone. So for now, it's okay. But having a look at total crypto market cap, it looks like it's doing a similar pattern. So it looks like it could break down too.
I'm actually more bearish on this chart than a lot of other charts. Like if you look at, I was chatting to GTG this morning on a live stream with them, exclusive only. They're no longer public, those ones. What we're looking at here is I do think we could punch a little bit higher than what we did in the past. Like we only took out this previous lower high, and then we actually did have this complacency bounce and then corrective wave after we lost this support. Like technically speaking, now you could say we're still in this range here. We do have a chance to push up here, but even if we start to push up here, I would still this is still sell. It's a sell for me up here unless we reclaim and start pushing up here for Bitcoin. So this level for Bitcoin is around 107 to 110 equivalent. So previous high over here compared to this distribution above. But if we go on what happened last cycle, is we literally just wick up into here, complacency bounce. Might take a little bit longer. Maybe we are like corrective wave, take these lows, then one more time up here, we wick above, confirm, and bang, something like this. So what would that timing be? Yeah, April, March, something like that, where we do start to continue this wave down further. I mean, it's unless we start flipping 107K with a lot of strength, I just don't see it yet. I mean, the dollar looks okay for higher. You've got a breakout here in dominance on the dollar as well. So naturally, I would expect maybe a little bit higher over the next couple of months, and then maybe you get that pump higher on the dollar after it's breaking out. In terms of dominance, you've got this bullish flag here forming on the dollar Dixie on a very high time frame. It just needs to flip this monthly support and resistance level, the red box here. And if it flips that, yeah, this definitely starts to challenge 105 again. So naturally, when the dollar and the dominance of the dollar does go up, historically, risk on assets like crypto do struggle. It's not directly correlated, but it is something to be aware of because as you can see on chain and as you can see everywhere, volume goes down, liquidity goes down because it's being stacked in US dollars instead of actually like altcoins or Bitcoin or meme coins and stuff like that. So again, we keep this. I mean, shout out to Aussie and Sexy and Cappy because they talk about that, Craig. They are far more adverse in that. It's just something to be aware of on chain as well is what's happening. So yeah, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, agreed. I just think with all the data and all the charts you can look at, it's all unfortunately pointing for me towards lower. It's just a matter of when, like you said, February, March, April could be March, April. We see a resolution there, but again, it's just showing me eventually it's going to break down pretty hard, and this might be the last hurrah. So hopefully we get the last hurrah. If it broke down from here, it didn't recover, geez, that's going to hurt a lot of people, isn't it? Yeah, like I said, I put a post up yesterday, Bitcoin's on a knife's edge, and I really think it is. It's fighting for its dear life to kind of keep us all in profit at the moment. So while I'm hopeful still for that lower high, and it still looks like that's the case, where I still think we're seeing signs of that lower high forming across total crypto market cap. Like we said, structurally, altcoins and meme coins are showing the same pattern. Bitcoin dominance had a little pump. That's not surprising because Bitcoin dipped, though. US dollar looks strong versus risk on assets. That's not great. There's just quite a lot of not great data points where you just ran through them all. 3 or 4 of those together spells not great. And for me, the total crypto market cap is probably one of the main concerns for me, the way structurally that's looking now. So,
well, here's your altcoin chart. And I put a tweet up maybe a few weeks ago about how you're not going to get an altcoin season. And every altcoin season that we've seen ever since 2017 has never compared to what we saw in 2017. Even though a lot of altcoins did really well here, this was largely, this altcoin run here was largely on the back of Ethereum doing really well during this whole ecosystem here, right? So that's a big difference, again, to 2017 in terms of what actually the percentage market cap, right? Excluding stables, excluding BTC and ETH, the altcoins. And as you can see here, in 2017, they made up more market cap. They took up more exposure of the crypto market. In 21, altcoins went crazy, but it was still lower as a percentage of market cap and market exposure and mind share compared to 2017. And look at 2025, lol. This was your meme coin super cycle here. Meme coin super cycle here in 2024, right there.
Crazy, okay?
Yeah? And that's crazy because meme coins were worth 127 billion accumulatively, excluding altcoins. Yet it didn't even crack the surface of breaking out against this high time frame trend. Now, eventually, yeah, sure, we could challenge, and it might have a lower high here structurally, but yeah, it's been a pretty bearish last couple of years for altcoins and meme coins and entirely. So again, maybe we see this breakout. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, the weekly doesn't look good. Monthly could see a little bit of a breakout potentially soon. So we'll just have to wait and see what price actually does. Couple of other news headlines. Trump says he won't rescue Sam Bankman-Fried with a pardon. Very interesting. So he's pardoning a lot of people, but here he has discerned that he does not want to give this man how much was it? $7 billion fraud, man. I mean, I read a tweet this morning about how much he would be up on some of his stock purchases if obviously he still held them, but they were obviously user funds. They weren't his own funds, but he would have been up $28 billion on some of these sort of pre-IPO targets that he bought, which is just crazy to think about. But what are your thoughts on this news?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons is because Sam Bankman-Fried was, I think, the biggest donor to the Democrats in the last election.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
So Sam was going into the White House a lot and meeting with Biden and the guys there. Long story short, he was the heaviest donor, first or second biggest donor for their last campaign run. So maybe Donald's taken a bit of an unkind look to him being the biggest donor to Democrats and decided, I'm leaving you in jail a little bit longer. I'm not saying that's the reason, but maybe if he had sponsored Democrats a lot, Republicans a lot more. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I wouldn't be surprised. But hey, who knows? Who knows what Trump's going to do, man? Like, I can't claim to know what that mad dog's going to do. But
dude, every day you wake up and there's a new bloody news article about Trump and his bloody volatility. It's just crazy, man, what's happening around the world with him.
Send Sam to Greenland.
I mean, yeah, I was just going to bring that up. US discussing options to acquire Greenland, including using military. What world do we live in, Craig? Like, what world do we live in? Look, sure, it's I mean, again, it's more about passage of assets, right? It's about having that particular part of the world because it is a direct, it's the way of transport is what I'm trying to say, is like a really constructive way for people to save a lot of time with a lot of things. So yeah, Craig, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I just feel like he's resulting to violence. It's just like, dude, I feel like this, if you look, I saw a tweet go viral as well yesterday around all the current leaders around the world are all above 70 years of age.
Yeah.
I don't know. Albo actually might not be, but in Australia, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty crazy. Yeah. So he offered what? 100K per Greenlander.
Lock it in, Greenlanders. God.
Oh, dude. I mean, it's a pretty harsh environment to live, but I mean, it's probably pretty peaceful, not going to lie.
Greeny, run me through again if you know. You may have just highlighted it before. What's the main reason he wants Greenland? Is it for, is it operationally?
I think it's operationally. From when I looked ages ago, it was operationally because it helps them have a location for transport of goods. And I think it also might potentially be a military location as well from memory. So I don't know if anything is obviously adapted from that, but that's what my understanding was a few months back.
Yeah, it's I guess it's beyond my scope of understanding that sort of stuff. I mean, I just don't, it's just a weird world we live in where America's talking about acquiring other countries.
A country, yeah.
Acquiring, like it's a business. Like, I guess it is a business, actually. I don't know what to say other than just laugh about that, man. That's all I think we can do is laugh or cry. It's just like, man, just please stop. Like, just chill. Just if Trump could just be a nice guy for the next 6 months would be terrific, man. Just relax. But
prices actually, Bitcoin and crypto has gone down since he's been in office. Just to clarify, it's actually negative. It's actually negative.
He had the effect we wanted initially, and now it's, look, I guess it's one of those things though, right? It's like there's price action and then there's these news headlines to correspond with price action. So I don't know whether it's having the effect we think it is, or price is just going to do it in this accelerated negative moves. But certainly headlines like that, I mean, it's instability, isn't it, in the world? Headlines like that, and the market doesn't like instability. So no, not the greatest headline, man. I reckon Trump should just say, look, no more fighting. Let's exit all our military bases and let's have peace in the world. But that's just never going to happen. So
that's not going to happen these days. Not when you've got China bloody firing out in our international, just not but outside of Australia waters in international waters. They're out there firing. You've got North Korea. Who knows what's happening over there? So like, yeah, there's a lot of disruptions in the world. You got Russia as well. So some other news, Bank of America upgrades Coinbase to a buy signal as exchange moves beyond crypto. So Bank of America said it recommended investors to buy Coinbase stock, pointing to its new products, including weekday equities trading and prediction markets. I mean, this is adoption happening in real time, Craig. We spoke about Polymarket yesterday, partnering with Wall Street and Dow Jones. Again, you've got now Bank of America, like one of the largest banks in that whole world, like 400 million people, right? It's telling you to buy Coinbase stock. Like, that's pretty crazy, Craig. Thoughts?
Yeah, pretty amazing, man. I reckon that's terrific, and I guess that's sort of backed by the story we brought up yesterday, which was the prediction markets as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
with Polymarket, so no, terrific, dude. That's a great headline, much better than the one we had up before. Like these headlines, even though price action isn't kind of showing the market being so bullish, these are just little steps in the right direction, and possibly will lead us into a pretty good bull run for the next run, maybe.
I think so. Very institutional based, very very heavy on actual good strong tokens, like technology, utility, those sorts of things, I would say.
And once again, I think going into the future, you'll find a lot of the alts and that sort of thing would just be left at zeroed, and the winners, like with the stock market. I think with the stock market, or tech stock, you've probably got about 5 stocks holding up the rest of the market. You're probably going to find the same with crypto over time. There's probably going to be 2, 3, 5, 10 coins that are going to hold up the crypto market, and those particular basket of coins will do very well, like your Nvidias and things like that. So I guess we're just seeing the crypto market mature now, and we're possibly seeing signs of that. We already have for this whole bull run. Altcoins have underperformed, and I think we're already seeing the consequences. I mean, you brought up that altcoin market cap just before, and you can see the risk on appetite back in 2017. And I suppose that was because there were so few options, like there was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and things like that, and then all these new coins came out.
Dash and Doge, and
and I think people thought, and rightly so, a great opportunity to get into the next Bitcoin.
Yes.
And I think that's probably what happened. I remember being around then. I was in a gym and guys were coming in saying, "Oh, have you seen this thing, Ethereum and things like that?" So
really? No, that's what I bought. Yeah, I bought it first in 2016, I think.
Yeah, a friend of mine who's done very well in the PT world, multimillionaire now. He was into Ethereum very, very early. Smart guy, Adam Sullivan, if anyone knows him for Australia. He's made a lot of money. He's probably top 3 in the world.
Wow.
He is giga. But anyway. Wow. I remember people like him coming in and saying that, and there was just this real excitement about new coins, and this could be the new railway for this or that. And then slowly over the years, people went, hang on, these alts aren't doing anything. And you can see then 21 came, alts got a bit of a bid. Obviously, like you said, with NFTs running, that propped up Ethereum. So Ethereum ran, and then Ethereum-based alts also ran. You had gaming coins run. People had a risk on appetite for gaming because we thought gaming was going to be the next meta in 21. That just never happened. Nothing eventuated. No AAA titles came out. Nothing really that I saw. So I think people just decided third time's a charm. I'm not buying the bull whatever anymore, and the bull shite, and went back to Bitcoin. And that's why I think Bitcoin led, because people are just sick of the lies, for lack of a better word.
Okay, question for you now. Is Coinbase, Robinhood, I don't know any other leaders, they're probably the main 2 ones, which are very much crypto as MicroStrategy, you could throw in there. But like, are these our new altcoins, Craig? Because they are traditional traded companies that very much represent crypto, but they aren't fundamentally on chain. They aren't tokens on chain. They're companies that you can get exposure to that are within the crypto world, that earn revenue, that are building a whole blockchain, for example, that have trading markets in a range of different things. Like this is Robinhood here, and I'm pretty sure Easy caught this very early. So like, what do you I mean, the tough part for non-Americans is getting exposure to this, Craig. Like, as us here in Australia, for you to trade this or to buy this, you have to go through a lot of loopholes on some of your favorite apps and whatnot, and then you got to verify that you're allowed to do it. Then you got capital gains tax, which is more aggressive than any other tax that we have in our country. Like, I can see it being a great opportunity for a lot of people, but it's also hard to get into some of these potentially if you're, like, say, here in Australia. What are your thoughts here? Are they the new altcoins potentially?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think those, I'd be pretty tempted in the bear market to scoop some of those up. After you just said all that, I think Coinbase stock is probably a good buy.
I agree with Bank of America. I think it's probably not a bad buy here. As always, not financial advice, but it's down 45% from its highs. That's actually lower than Bitcoin, but this structure looks really good here. Bottomed out stochastic on the weekly, multiple times, get bullish wedges. Like, yeah, Craig, what do you think? Like, do we buy this?
Possibly. I mean, the thing is, as soon as these companies like this get the tip of the hat from banks and things like that and government institutions, I mean, that's what we've all been waiting for, was for the railway lines to be laid institutionally and from a government perspective, because it needed clarity, right? We've all been waiting for the word clarity. And I think Trump's got that bill coming up, isn't it? What's it called? The
clarity bill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called. Yeah,
I think is that coming? So has it been released or is it on its way? There's something I saw that it's coming. So, well, maybe a redefined version of it or something like that. So I guess what I'm saying is the railway lines are being laid in front of our eyes right now, and as gross as it is to go with those sorts of companies from a anti-establishment point of view, we're here to make money, and the winners are going to win, I think, hard. So the fact we're seeing these headlines come out favorably for these particular stocks, yeah, man, I'm bullish. I think they could be a good buy. Whether this is the region to buy now, I don't know. Just the way I think there's a bear market on the way for stocks as well. I'm probably, I don't know if I'm a buyer here, but certainly I'll be a buyer later on down the track, maybe in a year when things start bottoming out. But hey, you could say maybe these don't drop down as low, but I still think if a bear market comes, it's going to smack these down regardless of the headlines.
Yeah.
But no, great call. I think these might, like you said, these might be the true alts, with an actual utility that's creating revenue is the main one. Because are any of the other alts creating any sort of revenue?
Well, like obviously, like Solana earns a little bit per fee, same as Ethereum, but they're inflationary, right? Whereas like these stocks would have a total supply. You've got Hyperliquid, which generates revenue. So yeah, there are some out there that are worthy of a business, and Pump Fund, you could argue as well, but. Yeah, I feel like these are maybe an underlying good opportunity in the next bear market as well. I don't mind Coinbase, probably not Robinhood here, but Coinbase around this weekly level is pretty crucial here. So you definitely could get a little rally here, particularly if BTC does all right this year too. Like if BTC and the majors hold up, then I think this could rally back towards sort of 350. And I'd probably say that would be a lower high. Then we do see that sort of extended bear market towards the start of 27 on a lot of these potential stocks. I mean, high time frame, if we have a look as well, it's still going to come down lower. So yeah, I would say a lower high here forming, and probably a good opportunity maybe in the longer term, potentially for you to check out. As always, not financial advice. These are just educational conversations that we like to have based on what trends are happening in the crypto space. A lot of people. Okay, here's something that really drives me up the wall, Craig. It's a big ick of mine. I apologize if this is something you do. A lot of people, I don't think it is, so I think we're okay here. But a lot of people think that ETF inflow and outflow is a really good thing to be tracking, when realistically it is just a magnified version of retail traders. This is an institutional wealth. It is a portion, but this is just people with no idea aping into these ETFs rather than buying the asset on chain. To give you further evidence of that, look at the buys at all-time highs. Look at these buys. Okay, this was when price hit all-time highs. Okay, bang. Okay, inflows were crazy at all-time highs back here in mid-year 2025 when Bitcoin got to crazy level 105 for the first time in history, right? Then we dumped. Look at the outflows. The outflows are panicking. They're selling in fear. They're buying in euphoria. Same thing happened again. We pump all the way up to 120. When is this? The 14th of the 7th in July. Look at the inflows. Arguably one of the top days of inflows ever. We then hit 126. Look at the inflows, and some of my favorite influencers to follow out there. Also, we're buying a shit ton of Bitcoin at the all-time high. And then look at the outflows as the trend starts to go down. Everyone starts to panic. Everyone starts to sell into fear. This is not a good indicator to track if you want realistic price-based analysis, Craig. I think that's my take today. Is this is like anyone using this to justify anything clearly has no effing idea about how crypto works.
My take on this, I think I would have been one of the earlier people on the timeline. I counter traded this the whole of last year.
Yeah, I thought you did.
If you go to my X and you look up ETF inflow, outflow under my name, you'll see every post I've put up has said when inflows are high, I sell, and when outflows are high, I buy. So I counter traded this all last year. Also using TA, but one of my other sort of data points was ETF inflows and outflows. And every time there was massive inflows, what I noticed is they were buying the top, just like retail, and they sold the bottom, just like retail. So no, I was the opposite
cool.
to other influencers, and I was pretty loud about it. No, in the last year on the timeline, I've counter traded this and I made it pretty loud. I was kind of laughing how a few influencers out there were using high inflows as bullish. I thought the complete opposite. So no, I counter traded all of this and did very well. So thank you, ETFs, for giving me a little bit of confidence to do what I was doing. But no, I would not be following anyone who thought massive. I mean, look, it's bullish in the way that retail's getting into it, but unfortunately, retail's also getting hurt. So,
dude, they have no idea what they're doing, Craig. They have no idea.
ETFs haven't. I think people thought when ETFs came out that ETFs would behave differently to normal retail, and it turns out they behaved exactly the same. In fact, as dramatic.
Yeah, they probably magnify it. To be honest, Craig.
Yeah, no, I'm not an ETF bull. I'm a bull in the way that I'm the opposite to a counter trader.
I mean, it's great exposure, right? I agree in that capacity. It allows people that maybe don't want to go on chain, the risk or appetite of crypto. But this is not a signal to be tracking.
No, I wouldn't be using it to figure out new things. I would be using TA. And then, like I said, I use TA, and then I use this as a sort of another signal. When I saw bigger inflows, obviously I was like, oh, okay, we're getting near a local top. And you know what, man? It worked out almost every time. Like it was a bit of a cheat code, man, last year, to be honest. It was, for me, it did help. So no, I'm not one of those guys that we could bring up. I mean, there were some pretty big names out there, bro, that when I saw last year and they were calling big inflows bullish, I'm like,
it's also,
man.
Let me add another point too. People who sell products who only talk about their wins, say from 2020 through to 2024, but exclude the most recent year, easy unfollow for me as well. Like if you're not disclosing what happened in your most recent year, you are red flag galore, because you are either not accepting that you lost, not publicizing that you lost, and transparency is everything. I literally wrote a tweet actually yesterday, Craig. It did all right. I wrote about my losses. I said, people only ever talk about their wins. So here are my brutal losses and what that did to my psychology and how I bounced back from that. I talked about debt, 40K car loan, tax bill, $500 to my name. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars earlier this year to a social engineering scam, but I made it back and I am happier for it. So here I am, Craig, like talking about my losses publicly, hundreds of thousands of dollars publicly. Then you have these idiots who don't shill their most recent year because it was a loss. So it's crazy, Craig. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good post. I might have to quote tweet you and put my journey in there as well.
Get the train going.
There's also some bleak stories between 21 and 23. That's for sure. Definitely. So now you and I are definitely a testament that if you stick around and you cop your losses and you learn your lessons, it's one thing to have a loss. You've got to learn from your loss. You can't blame. I see people on the timeline. It happens all the time in meme coins. When someone loses money on memes, they start pointing fingers. Oh, the dev did this, or you guys shilling did this, or you guys didn't bag work enough. That was a big, in 23, 24, that was the work for your bags scenario when we're all shilling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the losses are an important thing to talk about. And it just shows that if you apply yourself in the space and you learn your lessons, you can make money.
So many opportunities. Yeah.
I think if you're not making money in crypto, you're just not being honest enough with yourself and your performance, and you're not looking at the things you can improve. As soon as you start to tweak the things you can improve, you'll start to make money. But until that time, you just simply will not make any money. So you've got to be super, not necessarily hard on yourself, but pretty hard, I think. Being hard on yourself is a good thing. Obviously not in a negative way. It's how you frame it. Mm-hmm. You can, a loss is just a lesson for me, and through my life, and it takes a while to learn this. Some people learn it sooner than others. It took me a little bit longer, but certainly in my 30s, I started to learn that the failures I have in my life are my fault, right? No one else's.
Yeah.
Bottom line is I'm the person on watch of my life. No one else is watching my life. I am. So man, if it's to be, it's up to me. So I had to take accountability in 21, 22, more in 22, 23, actually.
Yeah.
But no, I'll quote tweet that. I'll put up my little journey because I think it's important for people to understand that, I think it's probably quite tough for people to come into the space new, say now in the last year, and see people like you and me, and then compare themselves to us, and be like, why am I not winning? And it's because you and me were them 5 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe for you.
Exactly, Craig.
And we were the exact same as them. The only difference between us and them is we stuck around and we kept working, we kept learning. That's the only difference. There's skill and then there's work, right? Being skillful in something, I just don't think in life, I've noticed people with skill who don't apply themselves, they just don't make it in the end. But people that don't have much talent, and this is quite a good sports analogy, there's plenty of people I've seen in sports who weren't the most talented, but they worked and worked and worked and worked. I had a friend of mine who got into the All Blacks, Corey Jane. I played rugby with him, and he was much better than me. But I wouldn't say going back to when we were 15, 16, yes, he was a bit of a freak, but he worked and worked and worked and worked. And all of us were like, gee, I don't think he'll make it. Don't think he'll make it.
You have to be addicted to the game.
And he just was relentless. And I remember one time he said, I worked with his girlfriend. He said, I'm going to make the All Blacks. And that's before he could even make the club team. And he just worked his ass off, man, for about 2 years, and he made it. So that's just a little good story about having talent's one thing, but you've got to apply yourself for it to be successful.
It's so funny you touched on that point because Cappy, who is arguably such a young man, comes out with this wisdom yesterday. Well, here's something to think about because we have a bunch of new people in this chat, and this is directly from GTGs. You can sign up down below. You guys need to realize that you are trading against people like Sexy, Aussie, Craig, Greeny, Stingray, Ray, who either have years in the market or have studied futures trading for years. These guys I classify as a 1 out of 20. If you think about it in this group, you would have 10 guys who studied hardcore for a year, failed and blew their account and never came back. 5 of which who studied hardcore for a year but could never become consistent. 2 that became consistent but had to give up because of personal issues. And 2 that gave up because they couldn't sustain the trader mentality. That leaves you with just 1 person left. These are those guys who have persevered through so much shit over the years, blowing accounts, shit mentality, personal issues, debt. But guess what? They stand here today and consistently trade and make it look easy. It is a tough journey. I'm 9 years in. I didn't succeed in my first 7 years of crypto, but I learned lessons that got me to where I am today because of what happened during that period of my life.
Exactly right. I mean, just to speak on our channel last year, we've been going for 2 years. Boxing Day last year, I mean, this is not a woe is me story, but last year I broke my toe, Boxing Day, so I couldn't walk. I was actually streaming with you, started last year in January with my foot in an ice bucket for the first 2 weeks. So I was streaming with my foot in a bucket with a broken toe. Then 3 months later, I broke my hand, my right hand, which is my mouse hand. So I was streaming with you, you remember, with a full cast on.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember.
Like, and I'm not trying to say, well, it's me. It's not about that. What I'm saying is that would have been an easy time, bro, when I broke my mouse hand to say to you, hey, man, I'm going to have 2 weeks of streaming. Like I could have said, I can't hold the mouse, but I just went, no, I broke my hand. It's my fault. So I had to just start using the mouse in my left hand for 2 weeks. And that's just a little story about I wanted to stream so badly, and I knew that if I disappeared, it wouldn't work. I can't leave for that long. So I was like, I've broken my hand. How can I make this work? Just had to learn to use the mouse with the other hand and continue to stream. And lucky I did, because a lot of our success on our channel came last year. So, that's one of those moments where you could look at, oh, woe is me. Life's hard. I've got a broken hand. Life's so hard. I'm going to step away. I'm not saying everyone has to be a psychopath like me, but it kind of takes that sort of determination. You were the same, Greeny. You had that loss last year, that scam. That easily could have kept. That could have stopped you. That could have done a few things to you. Your personal life could have unraveled. For one, you're married. You've got to explain that to your wife. That's a tough chat, man. I've had that chat. It's horrendous. And then obviously the perceived embarrassment on the timeline. That's a tough one. I had a NFT taken nowhere near what you lost, but about 20 to 25 grand. Yeah. I had that scammed out of me and taken out of my wallet. I went on the timeline and explained it. That was embarrassing, man. Like someone like me who's an educator still got scammed. So there's moments like that are put in your life where you just either capitulate or you learn. And I learned, and luckily you did. And I think Cappy's little spiel here is just so well said that I can't.
And this guy is honestly like 20. It's crazy, man.
He's wise, dude. He's going to make a lot of money, man.
Yeah, no, he already does make a lot of money. Him and Sexy are so good. I mean, Aussies too. I mean, shout out to everyone in the GTG community. They are so good at what they do. They are absolutely, like, they literally will trade the New York session live in the voice chat every day and make money. It is
make it look quite easy, actually.
It's crazy. And I jump in later. I'm like, I wish I could trade with you during those periods of time of the day.
Yeah, man. No, they are goats. I keep a lot of a close eye on Cappy because he's obviously in the perps chat a lot versus Aussie. Yeah. And Cappy is just all over it, man. If I go in there with a question on a main coin, he's like instant reply, man. He's not even looking up the J. He knows he's phenomenal for a young dude.
Yeah,
unusual. How old is Cappy? He must be 20.
I think he's 20 or 21. He actually came. So he has a mate who was in GTG and was like, yeah, hey, you got to join. Love this community. I've been in it since like the OG days. I'm not sure who his mate is, but his mate's been with us since 2023. Cappy joined us. I think it was the start of last year. In January, and he had like lack of money, lack of understanding, and he studied with the guys in the community. He also did his external study, and I think that's the beautiful part about trading is being part of a community that helps and understands and educates you, but also learning outside of that to refine your strategies and what works for you and how you like to make money. And then literally he makes 20% compounded per month, Greg. That is fucked. Like if you're a trader, and I mean, sure, you might be trading with like only a couple $100 now or a couple thousand. You play the long game with that 20% compound, he'll be making millions in about 5 years' time. And I know, like, I jump on live streams like as often as I can throughout the week with him. He will be making millions of dollars every year in a few years' time because of how good he is. So
I agree. His mindset is what fascinates me. It's mindset of people that I admire. Your mindset I admire because we're all very different personalities.
And that's the best part.
Which I get goosebumps talking about it because what I find fascinating is how you and me can be very different, but still sometimes come to the same thing or sometimes not come to the same conclusion. And, you and me will discuss it or debate it and you kind of get clarity on topics. That's the beautiful thing about a community, man, is the learnings you get from within there are just phenomenal because people take the time to talk to you. On the timeline, you can't really get great answers always. Whereas in this community, you'll get you come in there with a question, Cappy or someone's going to hit you with a paragraph, man. Not just try hard or a smart ass comment or something like an egotistical male might be.
Yes.
And that's the thing on the timeline, man. There's a lot of guys that are just egotistical, testosterone fueled and nonsense basically. And then you've got humble people like him. He's very humble too, man. That's what I like about him. He's grounded. He's going to go a long way. I won't glaze him anymore. Yeah. He's going to go a long way.
Yeah, he is. Last two topics I want to talk about is OpenSea. Their wave 4 ends in 5 days as well. Have you been farming these at all, Craig? Or is this
I have dropped the absolute ball on this.
I mean, I think majority of the timeline and everyone in crypto is just like, just launch your bloody token, mate. Stop trying to extract more liquidity.
I think though, people like you who've been consistent with this, I actually think it might pay off, dude. I hope
so.
I mean, not that I hate saying that. OpenSea has a history of letting us down.
Yeah.
So this time's different. Hey, to go on this, not to knock off your topic, I had someone message me the other day, MetaMask. Any news on that as well?
No, I was literally, that's my next topic to discuss as well. So no, let's see. Let's finish on OpenSea first.
Yeah.
I've just kind of, it's not like I've gone out of my way, but I will trade tokens via the platform. I'll pay that extra fee. I'll obviously trade NFTs a little bit more aggressively than I normally would. And I've consistently hit, I think like tier 7, tier 10 the very first time, tier 7, tier 4. That must be the very first. I think that was the very first one. So this one I'll hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. So I've been very consistent at 7. I think that actually nearly puts me in this bracket of OpenSea, puts me in the top 1%, probably higher with the consistency here. So as you say, I really hope they take that into consideration with it, and then hopefully I get some of these fees. I mean, I usually get cash back of like a couple $100. The very first time, I think with this one I got like $1,000 or something back. So I hope this cooks. I would assume we're gonna have one more wave because they said Q1. We could have 1 or 2 more waves, and then they're going to launch their TGE. And I hope it cooks, man. This company has made billions of dollars over the past 5 years or so, and I do think I hope I get all right. I hope I do all right with this. Like, I hope I'd be pretty stoked with 5 to 10 grand, like minimum. I'd be pretty happy with that.
I think if you're top 1%, you're probably looking at a decent payday, man.
But the historical value of other accounts like Prankster and stuff from 21 who have hundreds of millions of dollars of volume, they'll probably outweigh people more recently who are in the top 1%, unless they really do say, no, you guys have been using it more recently. Thank you. Here's a bonus structure or something to it. I don't know. I would assume they're pretty plugged in with how they want to run the tokenomics.
Regardless of you know, for me personally, you know, I'm obviously, I mean, my old wallets might get a good drop, but I don't know if I'll get a lot from it. But what I'm excited about is what this will do to the timeline. The liquidity injection could be good, dude. Because
you hope so. Yeah,
I do hope so. I mean, this is me praying for my NFT bags, but I hope the NFTs cop a bid, because obviously the people that are going to get a drop from this would be people that predominantly trade NFTs in 21, 22, 23, yada yada. So hopefully this is a catalyst for a bit of a bullish run for NFTs, and obviously we'll speak about in a second MetaMask as well. Those are two. Like, if you had to ask in 21 what airdrops you'd want, those are the two, aren't they?
Yeah.
MetaMask, OpenSea, those two, wowee, could be, man, I just hope they do it even okay, both those companies, and we get a liquidity injection, and it just gives us that. If they launch this at the same time as Bitcoin gives us a lower high, and Bitcoin taps around 100, 106, at the same time these go, I think we could be on for a pretty good month or two, man, but wishful thinking a little bit as well. So hopefully we see this actually help the whole market. So,
and the same with this one too. Like, a lot of people don't use this wallet anymore, but they've been doing prediction markets within embedded, powered by Polymarket as well with their mobile. They're really trying to push the mobile app, because a lot of their competitors like Phantom and Rabby, have done a lot better. But yeah, look, again, no news around when. It's just Q1, I'm pretty sure, for MetaMask, and Q1 for OpenSea. So
both Q1.
Both Q1.
You
have Solstice launching in Q1. You have Moonbirds launching in Q1. There's a lot of injection of liquidity opportunities, Craig. It's just, do people race to the sell button, and then do they sell all of it back into stables? Probably likely.
Me, I will be doing that.
I
am that guy.
I will be that person.
I'll put my hand up and say I will be dumping this shite as quickly as possible. Maybe I'll sell on a complacency bounce. Sometimes the bounce is quite good to sell on these airdrops as well. I will be keen to trade these when they go live. Sometimes you can have a bit of fun. It's like a bucking bull. These can be quite fun to trade.
Yeah.
But, I quite enjoy trading launches because there's so much attention, hype, liquidity. They're quite fun. I'm sure people like you will be rushing off, and soon to be people like me rushing off to short the hell out of it when we can, which is everyone's going to be putting up P&Ls and shorting and longing. I can't wait for the battle of buyers and shorters, man. I love that sort of chat on the timeline. Greenie will be putting up P&Ls of shorting, and then there'll be people out there like D-Farm or someone like that who's like, I'm going to buy this dip.
No, actually, no, he's him and I kind of aligned, to be honest, a lot of the time.
I agree. I actually that's the first name that came to mind who farms stuff like this. No shame. I actually rate D-Farmer. But there'll be people on the timeline that will go ham on the buys. There'll be people like you that go ham on the shorts. And I think it's going to be a great time. I like the fact that's Q1. We need it now. Is it the perfect time for it? Probably last year would have been better, but look, I'll take any good news I can get while Bitcoin's looking like it's looking.
That's actually a fair point by Wreck Billy, who's the new follower on the channel. Welcome to the channel, legend. If you want to be part of the giveaways, you do have to sign up for Yeet down below and trade some volume to be on this list here. And then we give away cash every single week, $1,000 a month. He raises a good point. He earned $8K by farming Magic Eden, Craig. I earned $17,000 from Magic Eden. What was your airdrop from memory for Magic Eden as well?
About 8 to 10.
Yeah, so I mean, accumulatively across the three of us, it was like 30 grand nearly.
It was a good stimmy, dude. I really enjoyed that one.
I mean, it was because of our ordinal. If I hadn't traded ordinals, I would have got nothing, which is crazy.
That was the biggest cheat code, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was great times to be trading. If anyone doesn't know, Ordinals went mental. Greeny and I made tons of money there. And then we got a free airdrop for
dude, like 8 months later or something. It's crazy.
It was like, congratulations on making some money. Here's another 10 grand. I was like, crypto's amazing. Like, this is amazing. So no, that was fantastic times. And I'm hoping, if Magic Eden could give me, say, 10K.
OpenSea.
Surely OpenSea's.
Oh, yeah.
Surely OpenSea's got to be okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. It is interesting. It is interesting.
Yeah, maybe, Greeny, maybe, or you think it'll be lackluster compared to Magic?
Well, I think there's more people probably used OpenSea, so dilution could be a fair factor. Yeah. They're probably a lot more witty, whereas Magic Eden just absolutely pumped like money into their token, and so I remember, Craig, I'm not going to call out names, but people who we're friends with, who we've had on the show and stuff, bull posting it. I was like, fuck, like sell this shit, get out, like. Why would you ever hold an NFT platform's token? Makes no sense to me. So I sold it. People staked it. Oh my God. If you staked it, you literally ran it to zero, like within a 3 to 6 month period. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I don't really buy into the staking thing.
No way. No way.
I remember a little story in 21. There were some high APYs for Ethereum-based coins, alts and that. 700% and things like that, and you had to stake it for a month. And I learned several lessons during 21 that a 700% return was not keeping up with the coin dumping. So I'm not a big fan of staking airdrops, bro. I don't know if I ever will. I will be selling, going into stables, waiting for the bear, Greeny, and I'll be buying Bitcoin, my old faithful.
I think an important message too is the people I'm talking about, again, not going to disclose them. They were probably insider as well because they had friends or family or partners and
working for Magic Eden as well.
So they probably knew about it. So they probably farmed it intentionally before, but then they had to come out and support it after the fact. But they had that emotional attachment to said friends, said people who worked there. So naturally, they weren't probably going to dump it, and they were misconstrued. So the lesson here is, as much as you, like Craig and I are friends, but if Craig says to me, you need to stake something like this, I'm not going to listen to him, guys. I'm taking that profit. I'm taking that money and running to the hill. Again, the lessons that we've learned from the last 7 years is like, look, 99% of the things that are launched in crypto will go to zero, as the same as stocks, companies. Look at them. It's the same. 99% of these companies that are created will go to zero. If you're there at the right time to capture that upside of a trend and therefore capture upside of making money, then take advantage of that, take your profits and run to the hill, because there will always be a new opportunity in crypto. I think that's a big lesson.
Yeah, totally agree. Sell your stimmies. And then if you really like what the team comes out with and says, you can rebuy. That's the other lesson. You're not locked in, right? So sell, watch the market, watch the chart. If the team comes out with this new magical staking that suddenly revolutionized crypto and all of a sudden an airdrop becomes profitable after launch, cool. But until I see that, I will assume the 99%, like you said, I'm going to assume every airdrop I get is not the 1%. So, yeah, same thoughts, Greeny. I won't be staking anything anytime soon.
Yeah,
I don't even stake alts, man. Do you remember staking alts on Binance and stuff like that back in 21?
No, I used to do it on the Australian native platforms.
Yeah.
But no, they got rid of it because staking became Australia, classic Australia.
Didn't like it.
Said no. So
because I used to stake like ADA. I used to stake VeChain.
Solana. I used to stake Solana.
Yeah, Solana. And every time, I must admit, it never worked out because every time I staked, the price just dropped and I couldn't earn enough coins. And look, clever marketing by those exchanges, very clever.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not a big staker these days. Bitcoin, I possibly would, but not anything else really.
No, I agree.
Hey, we hit 10 grand, Greeny.
Hey?
Did we hit 10 grand?
I know, I should have said 15 grand. I was too generous. But hey, Craig, you know what I don't like? You know what? Our chat is taking advantage of us. They are only doing volume when we tell them to do volume. Otherwise, they're not doing volume, guys. So moving forward, I think I'm going to be even more ruthless.
Volume's going to be high before Wednesday or Thursday, maybe.
Yeah, and I think it needs to be done outside of the show. It just can't be when we're on the show. I think that's I think that's an easy cheapskate for a lot of these people on the list. But guys, appreciate you getting to 10K today. Love to see it. Target for next week is $25,000.
Okay, cool.
Target for next week is $25,000. Okay. That's the goal for next week. Otherwise, we don't give away the money. I'm not just going to give away Mando's money just to give you guys more money in your pockets. Okay. Hit 25K volume. Okay. Hit 25K volume. It's hard to make volume for real. What do you mean? Flora, we hit 100K like 2 months ago. What do you mean? I'm confused by that comment, but fair enough. I mean, I think you got to play the different games. Again, I don't know. I can't use it. So Craig's been on there, but I haven't been on there. So yeah, fair enough. Market conditions. Look, I'm just saying. But again, we can't be handing out free cash if you guys aren't hitting the bare minimum. I think that's the key. All right, guys, here's the giveaway. So we're giving away $200 today. We gave $50 early in the week to Andrew. Here is the giveaway. Count me down, Craig.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's spin it.
Good luck, everybody.
Yalla!
Andrew with the 250 this week. Congrats to Andrew. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Andrew. Congrats.
Let's go. Is Andrew online now?
Yep, he was online before. He commented before. Congrats, Andrew, with the 250 this week, legend. Love to see. I think you are actually top of our list, or you were. Yeah. Oh no, he's not. Angelos flipped him. So yeah, no, it's good. Hey, it's good. Hey, he's done the most volume, so that's pretty valid in my opinion.
Second deserved winner.
Love it. Congratulations. W's in the chat for Andrew. $250 your way. Craig, are you happy to sort that after the show?
Yeah, we'll do. You'll have that in the next 24 hours, Andrew. 28 to 24 to 48, somewhere in there, just to be safe.
Excellent. As always, massive shout out to our two partners, Yeet and OKX as well, guys. As we said at the start of the show, you can sign up down below. The most trusted exchange, literally, in crypto. So this is where I've got all my buy orders ready to go. I can't wait to stack Bitcoin on this exchange in the coming months. Sign up down below, do $1,000 of volume, you get $75 for free. You do not get that anywhere else. And you also do not get the security and the safety of the platform, OKX. So massive shout out to those guys for partnering with us. Craig's dropped the link in the description now. Mate, great show. Lots of good topics. Don't forget, you guys can clip our content, post it to our WAP, and be paid for that. It's $1 to join so that I don't have all these bots in there. So it costs you $1 to join, okay? And that $1 goes to the kitty, all right? So don't worry, all right? So you can join us down below and clip our content and be paid for it. Yeah, make it go viral. If you have a good hook in it and it's a good clip, I will repost it to my 42,000 followers. If it's not, I will not repost it on my account, right? I literally look at every notification, every comment, every clip. I probably need a PA to do that for me, but I don't. I like to be personable because I think that helps the transparency and the value of a brand and trust of a brand. So yeah, you guys, you got two good ones here. You got two good guys here. A lot of people out there don't do this sort of stuff. So anyways, Craig, have a lovely weekend, mate. We'll be back next week. I think we'll keep our show the same time.
Okay. Yeah, good.
We were thinking, chat, let us know. Actually, before we leave, chat, let us know. What is this time slot good at? So it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. So it started an hour ago, or is in 2 hours time good? So would that be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, Craig? Yeah.
Yes.
Like what's better? That would be midday Australian time for our Australian viewers. It would be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just 3 hours later. We are considering moving our live stream to the middle of the Australian day. It's going to be bloody hot in this office. I didn't even think about that. Holy. Let us know, chat. I will keep it going for a little bit longer just to see what you guys reckon. Eastern Europe. Yeah, I know Europe. I do know Europe is either way. Europe is unfortunately just this time slot just doesn't really work. But it's 1 a.m. for you now. Yeah, I mean that's not too bad. Would be 3. Yeah, well, Wealth great. I mean, Wealth, like, do you tune in daily? Would you prefer? Yeah. 1 to 2 hour. I don't know what like
forward 1 hour.
As in, like, I'm confused by what people are saying by 1 to 2 hours. At least now starts at 12 p.m. Yeah.
I think Wealth likes this time, I'm guessing.
Oh, you mean 12 a.m. midnight? Yeah, okay. Oh, so it looks like we got a few people from Europe here. So
that's great. Good on you guys.
I mean, the alternative is I get Craig up at 6 a.m. in the morning.
yeah, that'll be great, guys.
You know, my wife would hate me because our bedroom's like right there, so there's no way I could be on stream because I yell and shit. And
no, neither. My son's still asleep. That would just never work, unfortunately. Yeah, we can look at the times. I think we've got Breen trades as well, Greeny, on Monday.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that'd be good to have him on. And then we have some other accounts too. We got some big Twitter engagement. One of the accounts loves a good engagement post. The other one also, both of these two accounts are very like they love it and they're bloody good at it. Arguably, they're two of the best accounts in terms of consistent, just good content around crypto. Just like some of the tweet, like the FF, we'll share who they are, but FFE and Jamsey, like. I look at their content, I'm like, oh my God, I've thought that, but I've never thought to put that context into a tweet. Yeah. And that tweet will go viral or hit 20K consistently. I'm like, oh, you two are good. You two are good.
Both of them are good. Jamesy cracks him up every day with his posts, man. I'm like, he's very creative. He's very creative, good with his PFP. So yeah, we've got Breen Trades, we've got FFE, and we've got Jamesy coming up as well. So good lineup of some heavy hitters, big on X, good with the algo. We can chat to them about growth and creative growth.
Yeah, it'll be a different conversation, which is good.
Be really good. So for any creators out there or people that want to do streams or just grow on X, probably great to tune into them. I know Brent trades. He does a great show, gets lots of viewers. So super stoked to be able to connect with those guys. Been friends with them for a long time, but never actually got them on stream. So super excited to get them on and be able to have a chat with them and introduce them to you guys for you guys who don't know them. But
I think to add a point, I think we'll keep our stream at the same time currently and just keep nudging away. But we will consider alternatives. You can always watch the replay too. And the last point I want to add is I might not necessarily be going live on YouTube anymore because live streams hurt my channel in terms of content. Yeah, it definitely does. So if you are watching on YouTube as well or catching this replay on YouTube, guys, you will have to go to Kick. It's Market Mates, but it's here. I'll pull up the page for you guys so you can see it. But yeah, I won't be going live on YouTube probably from next week onwards because it does hurt the brand or the content and the reach on what do we call it on YouTube. So yeah, if you come in, type in MKT mates, so Market Mates just abbreviated. You can come follow us here and watch our streams daily, and they do have when we're not live, it will have the replays here. Yeah, it has the replays here, so you can check out all the replays here of all of our previous live shows. So you can come watch it. Any clips? We probably need to add some clips again, Craig, to the bottom here and have popular clips uploaded as well. Maybe some of the ones that Levi's been working on. Agreed. Put some more recent ones up and get them popular clips going on the channel as well.
Let's see. Don't put YouTube link on your X. You'll get hurt bad.
Yeah, undo. I already know that. But you got to do that, unfortunately. Anyway, any external link on X doesn't work. If you tag more than one account, it doesn't hurt. It hurts your brand. Yeah, trust me, I know the algo very well.
Greeny's been looking under the hood for quite some time.
Yeah, I've been even helping Craig the last couple of days trying to understand the algo a bit better as well.
Yeah, guys. He's given me some good tips, guys. So I'll be writing a PDF shortly with the newsletter. Only $5 US for that.
He'll be charging it. I better get commission for that. Yeah, mate. Have a lovely weekend. And guys, we'll be back on Monday. Back on Sunday.
Cheers, Greeny. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you on Sunday/Monday for the Aussies in the room.
Sounds good. All right. Peace, guys. See ya.
Thanks, guys.